Also, no. When we get to Gateway and Milwaukee this year for the IAS, we're not going to be using the single plate for the front and rear wing.
It's Tuesday, and you know what that means. One of the biggest strengths of fields we've ever seen. 51-35. Welcome, everybody. It's IndyCar night on iRacing. Hello again. This is Gary Gatso. Welcome to Race First coverage of Championship Tuesday and round 12 of Season 2 of 2024, the IndyCar Oval Series for the 4D RACEWEAR. Tuesday night top split and round 3 of the Race First IndyCar Oval Series Triple Crown. We're not going to have a winner this year, but it's still round 3. Coming to you from the world's most famous race course, my hometown, Indianapolis Motor Speedway. As always, joining me in the booth, we have Stephen Larkamp, who is now rocking the new machine. And then we have Luis Gonzalez-Nunez, who is joining us from his previous time in the Lionheart Speedway Series. And also, he is the ambassador of the IndyCar iRacing Series. It's Justin Petschauer. So, guys, I think let me kind of repeat the question that I started off last time. We had Robert Malechka starting off the season, winning 5 straight. And then it's been Oster, Akabuizi, Oster again, Sudik, Tucker, twice in a row. We're not going to see him tonight. Do we see a new winner tonight, or do we see a regular suspect, considering how important this race is going into this weekend's open and fixed 500s? Let's start with the normal rotation. Steven, Justin, LGN, go.
So my thought here, especially looking at the fact that Robert Malechka, Phil Kraus, and Jacob Oster have actually disconnected. I think they're trying to reset something real quick. Each of them are. They may not be, they're going to have a big go of it for sure. But it's going to be hard going right now with John Hall currently on the pole position right now alongside Derek Kraus. I think this is going to be one of those races where it's going to throw some curveballs at us, much like the Indy 500 this past weekend was. And with the Indy 500 having given us one of those races that I think we're all going to remember for a very long time to come, this is going to be one of those races that I think is going to throw some very exciting moments at us and possibly an unexpected winner to top it all off. And I don't know if you know this, Gary, but Justin definitely knows. Today's my birthday, so I think I'm going to put on a good show for the birthday boy today.
Woo! Happy birthday, Justin. What do you think, man? We don't have a lot of time. Got a minute 10 before we grid up.
Well, I guess I'll make it quick, just like a lap around here at Indianapolis. I think we're probably going to see a new winner here because if you look at the track temperature, it's very, very cool. Only 91 degrees with a ambient air temp with these overcast skies of 69 degrees. Nice. And with the names that we see in here, we got a number of guys that run with me in the IAS. I mean, we got Kevin Burrell. We just named off Philip Kraus, Jacob Oster. This is probably the biggest strength of field I've ever seen for a fixed oval race here at Indianapolis in the IndyCar. I think we're in for one heck of a good show. And it's like I said before the broadcast last week to you, Gary. Many of us are just using the IIS last week as well as the Indy Oval Fix for this week as a glorified test session for the end of this week with the open and fixed Indy 500.
Lewis, where do you want to start this race? Up at the front and the back?
I think so. For the names and everything, I going on the back. I try to do the strategy is that toss a coin. I think so. Like Justin said, it's gonna be a new winner and Fraporti on the pole position.
Oh boy. The mailman is on the pole position. He's because everyone. Why is he called the mailman? If you ask, because he likes to send it. That's why we call him Fraporti the mailman. But let's get
pole position is not guaranteed a win.
Right. Well, we shall see. We're going to have not a long race, only 125 miles, 50 laps. But let's get this starting lineup in momentarily. Don't even have my music cued, Gary. Just a bad director. Bad director. Here we go.
And on that pole position, as we mentioned, regular face in the top split, but one of the few times I've seen him on the front row, Adriano Fraporti, the number 16 machine, will take the pole position. The only driver in the 39.2s, 39.293, blisteringly fast lap. Alongside him will be the 23 of Beckham Jasir, a new face to us at least. in the top split. Trey Shadid will be on row number 2 in 3rd place, and he's in the number 11 machine tonight, alongside John Hall in the number 2 in 4th place. OGG, Oscar Gonzalez, will be starting his number 6 machine in 5th, alongside Derek Kraus in the 24 in 6th place. Peter Kabuski had a great run to a podium last time out at Texas. He's going to roll off 7th, alongside Brennan McGee in the 21, a face familiar to both IndyCar and stock car drivers alike. Kevin Burrell, another old name of ours in the IndyCar series, will be starting off 9th in the number 15, alongside Chase Pierce in the number 7. That's going to be your top 10. Tony Pizarro's number 14 will start off 11th, alongside Sean Peleg in the number 9. Brian Tedeschi in the 10 machine will start off 13th, alongside the 3 machine of Austin Farr. Chase Cabre in the 12 will start off 15th, alongside the 17 of Gonzalo Romero in the 16. Rough run for him, though rough run by this standard here, because pretty much everybody from 1st place to 16th is within 1/10 of a second of each other. That's how close this field is. Wes Weedman will start off 17th in the 18 machine. He'll be alongside Jeff Byers in the 22. Dylan Moskowitz is the last driver to post a qualifying time in the number 19 machine, starting 19th. He'll be alongside the number 1, Robert Malechka III. RM3 is going to have a big show of it tonight, but he deliberately chose not to qualify. Who else deliberately chose not to qualify? Jacob Oster and Philip Kraus, two of the other biggest names in IndyCar competition on the iRacing service. They are going to be starting towards the back. Ty Quilla will start off, and then towards the back even further, Ty Quilla, Kyle Clemworth, and Hunter Johnson will round out your field tonight at the Brickyard. It's going to be 50 laps, so a quarter the distance of the big show. And even with that distance, I have no doubt we are going to be treated to a big show. And actually, one thing I've noticed, our pole sitter, Adriano Proporti, is starting from the pits too.
Yeah, he did not load in. Hey guys, before we actually get going here, I want to thank 4D Racewear. We talked about them all season long as being a sponsor here of the Top Split. This is our last race here as a sponsor with us with the Top Split. We want to thank them a lot for being a part of this experience this year with us. Check out their line of made for sim racing gloves, shoes, and apparel. Visit them at 4dracewear.com or click on their link in the description today. And with the start of the final race of the Season 2 of 2024 here at Indianapolis, am I so happy to say this? Stephen Larkamp, take her away.
Ray Shadid gifted the pole position on this one. Green flag flies. He's gonna take it away into turn number 1. Good launch for the number 11 machine as they head into turn 1 for the first time.
Side by side as they go through turns 1 here. All we're looking for is a clean start because it's tradition. As is tradition at Indianapolis, lap 1, turn 1, or lap 1, turn 2, chaos is aplenty. They are clean and green as they go down the backstretch towards turn number 3.
John Hall looking to the inside. He's going to dive it down on the low side to turn number 3. Not quite enough in that machine, but taking advantage on the outside. That's Derek Kraus on the 24. He's got a great launch there through 3 and 4.
One in the wall. That is Brian Tedeschi.
Brian Tedeschi.
Brian Tedeschi was trying to fall to the back because he saw what was going on up in front of him. He thought he was clear of another car, and he barely got tapped in the back on the side there as he went into turn number 4, going through the short chute. And unfortunately, I brought the commentator's curse.
Oh, and it was big net code. Net code.
That is huge net code for Brian Tedeschi. Just an unfortunate circumstance, just trying to drop to the back and coast for the early stint of this race, and now that is a destroyed right front suspension and a obliterated front wing. He is pulling that 10 on the pit road.
Now check this out from Robert Malechka's point of view. Here we come to turn 3 into the north chute. It is happening in front of him already. You can tell he's not up to 100% speed, just in 5th gear. There he sees a car into the wall, starts to come off the accelerator. Watch this thing slide down the racetrack. Ooh, actually it looked a lot closer on racetrack. Didn't look that close in the car, but still, he was still probably at every bit of 180 plus, so probably looked really close to him. But that is your championship leader, and you're actually going to be your champion of the Division 1 here of the Oval Series, Robert Malechka.
Yeah, And Malechka just keeping his nose as clean as he possibly can, came dangerously close there on that yellow. And looking at everybody looking to come down pit road, looks like he is going to come down pit road this time. And the same is true of the number 8 of Phil Kraus. So 2 heavy hitters coming in to top off the tanks early. I'm not sure if they're going to... I doubt they're going to pit for tires at this early stage as they hit their marks.
Yeah, it's too early. It was only lap one that they got to complete on a run of tires there, so don't really need to change the tires. You could just, like you said, top off for fuel. If there was some bug splatter you hit on the windshield, though, you could probably get a tear off.
Kraus has left the seat. He's no longer in a seat right now if you look at his car on pit road.
Oh, boy. And one thing I also noticed, too, Malechka actually did take tires. Kraus is back in the car. He's down and away. But Malechka did actually take tires on that opening stop there.
That's 1 of 3. Now he's down to 2 of 3.
Apparently
from radio the strategy of all time.
Apparently from radio communication I just picked up on Philip Kraus. He unbuckled himself and had to stand up and throw a bird out the cockpit. Not like the middle finger bird, the willpower bird. I'm talking about an actual bird. A bird flew into the cockpit there, and he did not want distractions.
I can imagine not. That is definitely an odd circumstance, especially for a sim racer there. But Phil Kraus back on the track here, and I'm definitely, and even with the sort of unorthodox pit strategy, I have little doubt that the likes of Ulster, Malechka, Kraus, and for Porty for that matter, who was credited with pole position for this race, but is starting towards the back regardless. I get the feeling these guys are going to have a ball fighting their way up through the field.
Well, what was it, Gary? What was it you said, Gary, at Fontana for the IIS? You'll see the guys that run the series regularly, they'll qualify up front, but they'll either start from pit road or drop to the back and let the newbies, as we affectionately call them, essentially start throwing haymakers unnecessarily.
Yeah, there's going to be some of that. I think though I'm looking at a lot of these names and these high I ratings. I think that a lot of these guys are a little bit smarter than that at California, Michigan, a little bit more of a full send type of track. These guys, look. I'm going to say they're a little bit smarter than that. I'm just going to say that.
Yeah, I'm definitely one to give a lot of... Oh, it's Derek Kraus, I should say.
Yeah, we're riding with him. He hit the wall. Yeah.
Derek Kraus.
Yeah, Derek Kraus in second place in the 24. That was bizarre what I just saw there. I'm definitely not seeing things here, but Kraus is still underway. Let's see if that has done anything to his car as the pace car gets ready to peel off on the pit road. Lap number 5 we're coming to the start of. Trey Shadid still on the point. Controlling the pace there and really stacks up the field. Green flag flies. Gets a bit of a leap on them, but that has really stacked them up from really second and third on back.
Yeah, unnecessary stack up there, but that's usually the case here at Indianapolis Motor Speedway. And by the way, where we're talking about Derek Kraus, that is NASCAR.
Oh, John Hall nearly getting squeezed in the wall off at turn number 2. He's trying to get the launch now on Kraus down the back straightaway. Looks to the outside.
As I was saying before, that little shindig. There
it is.
Oh. Turn number 3. That's Kraus and John Hall both in it. More cars involved. Trying to avoid the wreck.
Yeah, this is just a lot of unnecessary hard race. You know what? They made for a while. You know, a lot of these drivers, their performances have made us look smart. That one just made me look dumb. Because I said I think these guys would be a little bit more. Yeah, and they did not decide that they were going to.
And personally, like, it leads me to think that after that whole incident there, Derek Kraus may have been nursing a damaged race car and didn't realize just how much damage it was. And
well, let's go back a little bit further and coming to the start here of Kraus. I think it was coming down the backstretch, and we were getting ready to go into 3. And what happened? What happened?
Looks like he just looking in the cockpit here. The wheel is straight, going into the wall. There doesn't make much movement. In fact, he kind of moved to the right a wee bit. Maybe a distraction. I would probably think. Oh, the
right front was broke. The right front suspension.
Yeah, that says to me that the car was damaged there, but yeah, that was. It makes me wonder what happened to cause the right front to be broke, because you don't just like go up into the wall on your own. There, typically you follow the car follows where you go going into the corner. And John Hall is not having any of it. He actually had a meatball flag, I should note, coming to the green flag there.
And I hate to make a mention, Stevie, but Dylan Moskowitz was running a Dallas Stars paint scheme, and he got involved in the wreck.
Yeah.
So here's another view.
Your NHL allegiance is there. It doesn't sound like a bad thing to you.
Yeah, here's another view. Just no really sign. I don't know if he had a mechanical or was driving in VR. Boom, that's a solid hit right there. I don't know if he just had a VR issue and decided to look underneath the viewfinder and just didn't know where he was. And I don't know. That's just very strange. So unfortunately, it took out a good number of cars. And we've already slimmed down this field quite a bit, and we've seen 2 cautions.
Yeah, and I'm seeing in chat right now, Kraus is trying to explain himself to John Hall, but Hall is not too pleased with the responses he's getting, frankly, because with a meatball flag coming to the green flag there, he's definitely wondering why he kept it on the track coming to the restart. Kraus's explanation was that he was going to come on the pit road on the first green flag lap, but what I would have done then is I would have moved to the inside of the racetrack, so all the way to the left and allow people to pass me on the right without penalty, and then I would have used the pit road, the pit access roads in turns 1 and 2. Go down the backstretch safely, use 3 and 4, the pit access roads, then come on the pit road and not have to race and then take out 3 people. Definitely agree there.
I don't know about you guys, and you could say I'm wrong or whatever, but I think just a bad judgment call.
I would agree on that one for sure. Like, especially when you know coming to the green flag, you're going to have a meatball flag, you're going to have to serve the penalty, and in these Indy cars, that's likely going to be a race-ending penalty, or at least a contention-ending meatball flag that you're going to have to deal with. That just, I would just pull down to the inside, wait for it to go green, and just let everybody go by, just coast it back to the pits. And like, if I can salvage whatever I can, fine. But most of the time with these Indy cars, as fragile as they can be, it may just be good enough to just keep it on the pit road there.
Riding along the pace car here, getting ready to go green. So the 500, Ken Griffey Jr. brought the field down the green. That was kind of an odd call. I never really expected to have him as the pace car driver for the start of the 500. But as it would be, believe it or not, his family does have ties to Indianapolis. His father, Ken Griffey Sr., played for the Indianapolis Indians, which was the farm team for the Cincinnati Reds in the 70s for a number of seasons. And so that would be, I guess, the tie, how Ken Griffey Jr. got involved here.
I would imagine so. I mean, especially when you grow up close to the speedway, it's just one of those things that just rubs off on you in some way or another. Some ways more than others. But looks like we're about to go back to green once more. Trey Shadid still holding on to the point, leading every lap so far. And he's got his foot down. Big gap right now over Beckham Jasir as they head to turn 1 yet again. We're working lap number 9.
A lot of yellow flag action that we've seen so far.
Mm-hmm.
Like I said, as is the case here. Usually you'll get the wreckers that run them over in the first bit of the race, and then as the race goes on, you'll get some pretty good, clean racing.
Honestly, that's usually my strategy for the Indy 500 most years. As Jasir trying to close up on the back of Shadid. but he's got OGG, Oscar Gonzalez, all over his gearbox, and Peter Kubuski trying to get himself into the fray as well.
So far, so good. We actually made it a lap without wrecking.
Maresca says something.
Our first full green flag lap. Go ahead, Luis.
No, it's about the Maresca getting like a share about the first lap.
Oh, wreck off a 2!
Oh,
Massive hit!
Oh, jeez.
See who that was? That's Chase Pierce in the number 7 going airborne off of turn number 2. Caution's out.
My God.
And single car incident just smacks the wall off of turn number 2. I think arrow push from the car ahead of him just could not compensate.
Here we go. We got the replay going, checking, and he's right behind, I think, Gonzalo Romero on one of those other team cars that is in this. Yeah, and he's pretty high. He's not down on that white line, and there's the arrow push. You can just see the car moving out, smacks the wall very hard. Then he goes right to...
He launched off of Kevin Burrell.
Wow.
Yeah, he did.
Wow. Kevin. Oh, jeez. Jeez.
Wow. And it looks like Burrell just sprouted a new front wing off of that one. He may have gotten insanely lucky. Though, if I were Burrell, I might want to have the crew take a peek at it and see what happened.
Well, let's ride with...
Remember me that?
Yeah.
Salazar in the last corner on 96 when the cars fly.
Oh, Salazar, Guerrero, and they all got in the airborne, spun around. Yeah. So watch this. Watch this ahead. There you go. Shoots in that. We're riding from the perspective of the general, Kevin Burrell. Look at that car. Where do I drive this car? Where do I drive this car? If I put it there, oh nope. Oh!
Yeah,
and everything's and then all of a sudden his car's a transformer.
Yeah, that like how you avoid that wreck was definitely more than meets the eye, I'll say that much.
Oh, nice one. That was awful. That was just awful.
Boo, I know. But Burrell gets it on the pit road there. Let's see if he can keep it going there. He did not have a meatball flag going into this, and he is down in the way. So it looks like he may have gotten off relatively scot-free. He's going to be able to catch up to the rear of these guys, and that's one of those moments, frankly, for sim racers where you have no idea what iRacing's damage model is going to do to you. You're just like, oh, please, don't let it be the worst. And thankfully for Burrell, it definitely was not the worst in his case.
Checking chat, William Stearns, and this is top split. Yes, this is top split. we actually have, and you guys mentioned it, and then I said, nah, I think these guys could control themselves. Yeah, but you called it, Justin. You said there's a lot of non-regulars in here, and we've said it many times that in order to be really good in these cars, you must be a regular. Otherwise, you kind of lose touch with the way the car feels, with the tools, how to operate the tools in a timely fashion, and a number of things you kind of lose touch with. And I think just despite the car being at Indianapolis, is really no green light for people that have not been racing these cars on a regular basis.
You also have to take into consideration. Some people think, "Oh, you're just flat out all four corners, just making left turns." No, there's a thing called understeer, arrow push, everything in between, using the available tools that you have in your car.
Well, it's funny because
as well as the weight checker.
Well, it's funny because in the real world, they wouldn't be allowed to do that. They would have to take a refresher course in order to even get cleared to drive in regular practice here at the 500. If they were a rookie, they would go through the rookie orientation program. If they were a veteran, meaning that they came from, they were an IndyCar driver like a year before, like Castro Neves, or maybe you came from another series, like when Montoya came here from kart. They kind of got refresher courses. Actually, I think he did get the full rookie orientation, but the next time he came, he actually got the refresher course. So that there's a reason why they do that for real. And I guess, I would have never thought that refresher courses would be needed for the sim, but really, if you lose track of these cars and you don't race them off a lot, you will lose that edge. You will.
Yes, especially since, let's make no bones about it, comparing an Indy car and a stock car of any stripe is a completely different animal, both in terms of the driving experience and how it performs in traffic. In a lot of cases in stock cars, you can pretty much drive it similar the way you would most laps, whether you're in the draft or not. In these things, as aero dependent as they are, not so much at all.
Before we go back green here, guys, we got a special surprise visitor here at the booth, Mark Murphy.
Speaking of yeet.
Yeah, indeed. And he's keeping an eye on his old stablemate Trey Shadid up at the front of the field. Green flag flying yet again. Jasir got a bit of a better launch this time than last. And OGG once again trying to get the launch on him. Trying to come down the back straightaway here. This is one of his best opportunities to do so. And Jasir hard on the throttle coming off the corner there. He's getting a big run. So is Gonzalez. Looking to the outside into turn number 3. Can he make the outside pass work? Yes, he does. And Jasir backed off a little bit. And now Peter Kabuski getting very close there in this battle now for third place. Kabuski, Brendan McGee, and Beckham Jasir. And here comes Jasir trying to get a run on Gonzalez. Gonzalez, meanwhile, trying to get a run on Shadid for the lead.
Side by side, 2 wide, 2 rows deep as they go off into turn 1 here. Back down to a single row of 2 as they go through the south end of the speedway here. Still with a huge run, and here comes Brendan McGee. He's going to try and make it 3 wide as they go up into turn number 3 with a huge run, and I think he's going to get the lead here as they go up into turn 3.
Fantastic opportunistic move there. Brendan McGee to the lead in the number 21 DHL machine, and Gonzalez is really seeing that and thinking, where did he come from? But he's got to fight him anyway. Looking to the outside yet again. He made that outside pass work last time around. Can he do it again?
The outside line has been known to work here. We've seen it a number of times in the IAS last week.
Meanwhile, Shadid coming under
look at
just here.
Look at the gaggle of cars. Look at the gaggle of cars here as they come off a true.
Yeah, this is turning into a great scrap all
right in the middle.
16 laps in. And here comes Jasir looking to the middle, 3 wide on the outside now of Brendan McGee as he clears Gonzalez. Looks to the outside now through 3 and 4.
Still side by side.
Quite enough this time.
Yeah, he was side by side with McGee, but now he's side by side again with, I believe, that is. Oh, what the?
Look at Gonzalo Romero. Look at this massive move. He gained at least 3 spots doing that.
Oh,
as he looks now to the inside on Jasir.
These Necky Racing guys, they have come to play today. Although, who's in the Larson livery? Is that far?
That's Sean Pellig, I believe.
Sean Pellig. Come on, Sean. Can we pick? Come on, Sean. Everybody this week has been putting himself in a Larson livery. Come on, get a real IndyCar livery for a change.
Maybe because it's from NASCAR.
I mean, it's almost like going into the junior formula levels on the road courses and seeing a Red Bull scheme.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And
look at this! Look at this!
Look at Romero dives into the inside, and that's for the lead of the race. Lap 18, brilliant move. Gonzalo Romero to the point.
Just insane racing, almost like what we saw in the real life Indy 500 a couple of days ago.
Who says the virtual world isn't realistic? The real thing. Look at this move on the low side. That's Gonzalez 3 wide with 2 teammates as the bread. McGee holds on to second place, and Gonzalez now to the lead.
And a Necky Racing sandwich.
Oh man, but Oscar Gonzalez now under pressure. McGee trying to get the launch up the corner. Looks like McGee's gonna lead the lap. He went again from Romero on the low line.
That was a total Brazilian clear move.
Somehow worked
from the high to the low side.
And get very close to where we have to reiterate. What do we always say, Gary? What's the #1 rule in racing?
Don't wreck your teammate.
What's rule 2?
Don't wreck your teammate. See rule 1.
Indeed, refer to rule 1. Brendan McGee now seeing all this, and once again going for the point up on the high line there. Not quite enough just yet, but look at Austin Farr now in the #3 on the high line. Another new face fighting out for the lead of this race.
Such chaotic racing, but it's so good. You don't know. We don't even know where to point the cameras.
It's really hard to do, but I mean, at least a lot of the action is staying around the front of the field here as Romero once again gets around the low line. McGee now once again making it 3 wide through the middle.
It's been a while since we've seen Gonzalo. It's been a while since we've seen OGG. It's been a while since we've seen Weidman. It's just a week recently. Kubuski, he's kind of been getting his skill set sharpened for Indianapolis. He started coming last week. Shadid's like a regular, and here comes Shadid, and here comes the first regular scheduled stops. But here's a lot of these guys we do not know at all. We do not know their racing habits or anything.
Yeah, all we know is that they've got a high enough I rating to make it into top split, but that could be from NASCAR. It could be from a lot of other disciplines, and it could well be that they're like relative novices to the IndyCar scene, but they're making the most of their time here for sure. As Sean Pellig now trying to get on the grass there on the low line there. Not quite enough, as now...
Jeez. Oh, jeez. I wish Pelot would have raced that hard on Sunday.
I'm just gonna say this, guys. Don't look now, but here comes Chase Cabry.
Oh, is now Austin Farr almost got chopped off there by Gonzalo Romero. Gets stuck in the middle there, as you called it. Chase Cabry up in the 4th position
now. All right, so for those that don't know, who is Chase Cabry?
That is Haley Deegan's fiance, but right now he's enjoying. He doesn't know where to go with this 3-wide situation. He's gonna. He's got 4.
Oh no!
He's going up in a 3.
Oh my God! Get from 7th up to
There it was. I almost thought that was it right there.
This is the start of the Indy 500 right here with them going 3 wide.
Absolutely brilliant stuff. Romero still holding on to the point right now. But what a run. Beckham Jasir, and here comes Cabry looking a little like 4 wide for the lead of this race. Lead gives him a neck coat against Romero. Contact there. That was Brendan McGee. His front wing, his right front wing is gone.
It's gone. He's falling back.
Way up high there. He's got a damaged race car. Oh my goodness. Chase Cabry, bonsai move there. Jasir now gets by him for the lead, and here comes Romero yet again. May have lost one of them, but this battle is not over. Not in the slightest.
I need. One car goes to the pit road, but do we have an air tank machine that I can use for oxygen after this race?
I know, right? And it looks like Gonzalo Romero wants to get a bit of oxygen too as he comes on the pit road for his likely only stop of the race. As Beckham Jasir now leading the way as Cabry now trying to get a run on the low line again. And I'm seeing Sean Pellig and Austin Farr. Austin Farr getting a big run. Going into 3, not quite enough.
Whew. You know what? I got an idea. To let us catch our breath, what do you say we give him the sounds of speed and take a lap with nothing but pure sound from the Indianapolis Motor Speedway?
Let's ride with somebody here, and let's get with Kevin Burrell back here. He's going to have all this action in front of him. Do a lap with Kevin.
And the whole lap never dipping below 215 miles an hour at any point. That's the kind of speed you get to see here at the Brickyard, and the battle up at the front has not relinquished at all.
Yeah, but I think some of these tires are starting to wear off, though. Some of these tires are starting to wear off, and a lot of these guys at the front have not stopped, and they are very deep into a run. Very, very deep into a run.
Yes, indeed. Beckham just see her fighting out with Sean Pellig now for the race lead at the moment. And I have no doubt these guys are fighting the rubber as much as they're fighting each other right now. And I imagine at this point, they may be looking at about 10 laps to go on fuel here, given the cautions that we've had. Chase Cabry on the high line goes to the lead with a brilliant outside move.
Cabry knows what he's doing. He's running real life before he's ever driven this car here, but he knows he's used his stock car experience on paying attention to where the other cars are around him. So it's definitely helping out here, especially at 230 plus miles an hour.
Cabry trying to break the toe a little bit in that battle there with Sean Pellig. He loses that spot to Austin Farr. That's kind of the little strategy I've seen a lot of people play here at the pit road. The years is Farr and Pellig. Massive run yet again going into one.
Man, I tell you what, the regulars are like keeping this battle at arm's length. I mean, the regulars that we normally see that are up at the front, Jacob Oster, Dylan Moskowitz, we see these guys quite a bit. They're like, no, we're going to let you guys battle it out.
They're very quiet over there.
Yeah.
I follow them, and they're really quiet over there. It's like I enjoy the ride and see how the people is lose the track.
I totally get that thought process, and I would not blame them in the slightest. Playing it savvy so far.
Playing it, in the words of a friend of mine, he called it the Heishman way. Hang out in the back, let the guys up ahead wreck themselves out or play chicken with each other, and then pick your way through.
That's the Gotso strat. That is the complete Gotso strat when I race.
Yeah.
It works. Provided you don't get taken out one of those wrecks, it works pretty much most of the time. Oh, jeez, here we go.
4 wide into 3.
Peter Kubuski now
he just cuts across the top. Oh, my goodness. Kubuski just cuts across the top there and gets to now 3 positions.
What a drive now for the driver from Czechia. As Austin Farr now gets the run on the low line this time, but Peter Kubuski, do not, under any circumstances, count him out.
Okay,
as the veterans of the series line again.
Okay, here's a pit report. Chase is 29 laps, Farr 29, Kubuski 29, Beckham 29, Pellig 29. Hunter Johnson is the first car that's pitted. He pitted on lap 7 in this battle. He's at 23 laps in this current set. Weidman 29, Oscar Gonzalez 29. If these guys wait to the last moment to pit, the person that will pick up the lead, at least for a little bit of while, will be Hunter Johnson, and then Dylan Moskowitz, and then right behind them are the regulars.
Yep, and as you said, the regulars, they're still very much in this fray. They're just not inserting themselves in the situation at this point in the race. There, you still got about 20 laps to go here, and what's true in the 500 is true here. The last 20 laps can change literally everything. As Cabry, yet again, looking on the low line against Austin Farr for the race lead.
Guys, I don't want to break up your party. However, there is another group that you may want to consider. Shadid, Romero, Ty Keela, and Kyle Clinworth are all in a tight draft. They're swapping. They stopped at lap 21, 22, and 24, and they have picked up 4 seconds on this lead group. So when things cycle through, those guys may be sitting in the catbird seat barring a caution. And you've got the other group that I'm kind of looking at is Malechka and Kraus. I think them boys are back there riding around about half throttle trying to run.
Oh, yeah, 100%. 100%.
But once the leaders fall away from them, they're going to have no speed. It's the Shadid, Romero, Keela, and Clinworth group that if this thing goes caution free is going to be sitting pretty. And I'll go back to Simon.
Thanks. Definitely thanks for that, Mark. And we definitely would be remiss if we weren't to talk about that. And thanks for bringing it up. That indeed the guys that pitted early there, they're turning off some very good laps so far, consistently quicker, a bit quicker usually, than the guys in this lead pack here, because they're starting to slow each other up. They're not only struggling with tires, but the fight against each other, they're taking themselves off the optimal lines.
Let me show last lap miles per hour here. And you can tell me where the fast group is. Look at that.
Wes
Look at
Reed Yeah, these guys are just clicking off the laps and trading it sensibly amongst each other. Whereas these guys up here, as I'm seeing Wes Weedman move himself up into 4th place there, and that's actually one of the cars in the mix there is Brendan McGee, who came in to repair damage on his front wing of that number 21 machine from that contact he had earlier.
Yeah, he's a lap down. Yep.
Yeah, he is a lap down in this race. Oh, look at Wes Weedman. Weedman got a monster run to the 3. Not quite enough. He didn't think of taking it 3 wide there. Probably a good move in that sort of instance. But definitely keep an eye out for that 18 machine in this fray.
I wouldn't be surprised if the regulars that we know and love to watch on track are messing around with their fuel map setting.
Possibly so, and especially if they want to, if they just want to go into fuel save mode and maybe make it a short pit stop here at the end of this race, just to take a bit of a splash, of course, change tires, and then just go for it.
Speaking of going for it, we're riding with Weedman. I thought he was going to set it up the middle between P1 and P2 there.
Meanwhile, Farr gets a launch off the corner there. He's been alongside Cabri for at least a lap or so.
Weedman's pitting, and so is one of the other leaders.
Well.
Oh, get down, get down.
Oh,
did he just do what I think he did?
He got a black flag.
It was identical in every way to Larson. Every way to Larson.
He pulled a Kyle Larson / Scott Dixon a few years ago. Oh, heartbreak for the 12 machine tonight. And now this lead battle. It's Austin Farr and Peter Kabuski with Beckham Jasir sitting behind a lap car in 3rd place. And these guys, I'm wondering if they're getting close to the point where they definitely are going to have to pit as Austin Farr makes the dive down towards pit road.
Coming.
And OGG in as well. So we're getting the front runners coming in. I'm expecting more of them to be in this time by lap 37.
I never thought I'd see that happen with Cabri. I never thought he'd pull Larson / Dixon.
You gotta feel for him for that. He was doing an awesome job this race.
It just tells you,
happen on the stop.
Again, it tells you that you need to practice with these cars on a regular basis, because part of the game, everybody, is pit road green flag pit stops. And I even think in the real race, a couple drivers called their shots and predictions on Larson. Driver experts kind of called their shots and predictions on Larson. They said, we think it's going to be one of the mistakes he's going to have is either on a restart, which he did, and coming to pit road, which he did. Those are 2 areas that you don't see a lot of people practice enough. And that's where people get caught out on mistakes all the time here, whether it be in the real cars or the sim cars. So keep in mind, when you guys practice laps in Indianapolis by yourself and you're like, well, it's no fun, there's no one to race. Maybe you should practice some restarts. Maybe you should practice some green flag pit stops.
Agreed completely. And that is
not just Indianapolis. You also want to do it for the road courses. And
everybody, everything.
Yes.
Kabuski's in, by the way.
Yep, we got him.
Kabuski coming down pit road. Beckham Jasir now inheriting the race lead over Kevin Burrell and Robert Malechka. These are the guys that we're talking about here, the heavy hitters of the IndyCar series. And they are looking at the speeds that the likes of Malechka and
38 laps.
They're running pretty slow.
Jasir, 38 laps on this stint. He's got to stop at some point. And even though he's got in McGee's draft, there is no way he makes it another 10 laps.
No, absolutely not.
He needs a caution,
at least.
And let's ride with him. He's not saving gas. He'd be in 6th gear if he was. He wouldn't be allowing He wouldn't be allowing that LED to flash blue. That means you're at the top of the revs.
Yeah, and Jasir sitting in the drafts of the car ahead. That is the lap car of Brennan McGee. And now moves to the inside. So Jasir really not in fuel conservation mode. I think he knows full well that he's going to have to pit. He's going to give it everything he possibly can here, while I think the likes of Malechka, Kraus, and Burrell and Oster, they're trying to pull a collective Rossi.
Here they are, coming to pit road. And I was just getting ready to say, I don't know how many times you've heard it, whether it be from Paul Page or Mark Janes or any one of the voices of the 500, the number of times that the car coming to 10 to go that haven't won the race, well, here's going to be another example for you. 10 to go, and his race is done, just thinking that he was trying to get a late caution and it never materialized for Jasir. Now it turns the lead over to, well, surprise, surprise. And he missed his...
I checked... Oh, sorry. I checked Maleska, all the group, the Maleska, Ulster, and Kraus, coming 16 to 15 miles low than the another group.
Mm-hmm.
And I saw
They're
it for...
almost running stock car speeds here.
Yeah. Yeah, like I said, they're pulling
no, there it is.
Last
lap by Kraus 206, Burrell 206, Maleshka 205, 206s. Those are speeds they turned in 1983, 1984 for pole speeds.
Sounds about right. Yeah.
And look at Romero. Look at Romero, Shadid, Clinworth, and Farr. I mean, that was kind of called a little bit by Murph. They are coming. They are 14 miles per hour faster than this group right here. And do they have enough time? Time? We have 8 to go.
The previous lap, they were 23 seconds in the rears of the race leaders. Now they're 20. They're just going to be clicking them off, see if they can indeed catch up to these guys that are just completely in fuel save mode.
Man, they
are not in serious driving. They think they practice for the big race on this weekend because they still have a 30 lap.
Yeah. This. I don't want to say that this race means nothing to them, but I mean, here, let me go ahead and show you this real quick. Here are the IndyCar Series points, and look at the lead Malechka has. 2,071 points to Oster's 1983, and then Akabuizi, he's sitting there at 1879. So there's really no battle for 1, 2, and 3. So this championship is decided. So if they don't, win, I don't really see them crying too much about it. But they absolutely could be using this as something that they want to try in one of the big 500 milers coming up this weekend.
I mean, when you get the chance to practice a rare strategy, you may as well give it a try, especially when you're getting ready for the biggest spectacle in sim racing, the iRacing Indy 500, which thankfully we have back, and we cannot be happier. And we've already been treated to a great prelude to it tonight. And if this is any indication of how the rest of the week's going to be, I think that it's great we got the Indy 500 back, but it's even going to be greater when it looks like it's going to be as good, if not better than ever.
So while we got this battle, no, hold on. While we watch this battle, I got to get this promo in because this is a good segue promo, and we're just watching this battle tear down. We're not really seeing a lot of racing right now. We're just seeing a battle of this first group trying to hang on as this second group now has it down to 11 seconds, soon to be 10 seconds. Okay, Friday, 9 p.m. Eastern. Right here on Race First. We already have it posted. Hit the reminder, click the bell. You will be reminded of when we go on the air. But 9 p.m. Eastern will be the first of the top splits of the open setups of Indy 500, which we're calling the ultimate warm-up race. There's going to be a little bit bigger broadcasted split later in the weekend, but the guys will wanting to get some extra attention, so we thought we'd do an extra broadcast for them, and so we committed to the top split for the oval or for the open series. They will be at 9 p.m. Eastern. 9 p.m. Eastern this Friday, the 31st. So that will be their first of splits, and then they will have their big broadcast split later in the weekend when we see all of the strategies now, as I guess they would see be playing for real. But we're calling it the ultimate warm-up race. Then Saturday, 5 p.m. Eastern. That's when we will do fixed, and that will be on Saturday, the June 1st. So mark it down, set the reminders. You'll be notified. We'll have both those races right here on Race First.
Oh my goodness! And I'm looking at the battle right now. These guys are fighting each other here when they should be trying to run down the leaders. That's Wes Weedman making the most of it as Shadid gets muscled out on the high line here.
8 seconds.
And here
8 seconds, 4 to go. This is like Mears chasing down John Cock.
1982 all over again. And you almost forgot. There's one more broadcast as well, but the time slot was changed because of the Indy 500.
Car on the wall!
Oh, one car on the wall.
Austin Farr, big time banger. And he better look out because there goes here Clindy. And then Gonzalo Romero's like, shoot, I'll just send it right in front of you.
Oh, man, Clenworth up on that high line there, but all this fighting is allowing the leaders to hold a faster pace right now. They've actually picked up speed. They have, I think they're comfortable enough. They've saved enough fuel to the end, so it's Kraus, Malechka, Burrell, and Oster. Some of the biggest names of the series there. As Oster is actually the one falling off the pace the most.
Yeah, he's gonna
win.
yeah.
Really, they cannot win. Really, I am really surprised. Yeah, they cannot win with 37 laps on the tank. It's yellow.
Caution!
Oh my God!
Oh, who's the leader? They were side by side. Who's the leader? Who was the leader?
I think so. It's Kraus.
I think it's Kraus.
Kraus. Yes.
Kraus was the leader at the time of caution. It looks like it was Hunter Johnson that brought out the yellow in turn number 2.
Oh, go figure. The Verizon car.
Oh, they almost passed Valeska to Kraus, and when the yellow flag is out, so it was close.
Let's check this out. We're watching the Verizon car, and he has kind of comes out on Tyco a little bit of net code, but you know what? It's almost in an identical spot where Will put it in the wall on race day. Oh, it takes out Kabutsky. Pow.
No.
Well, that's it, guys.
Yeah.
Man. Over. What, like, perhaps a bit of anticlimactic way, but over and to end it. But what a race it has been tonight. And like I said, if this is any indication of what we're in for this weekend, sign me up.
Yeah, they knew what they were doing from the outset. They executed it from the outset. As I once again said, especially when it comes to racing Robert, everyone wants to race Robert really hard because they see how good he is and they want to put up the best fight. And you know, Robert really doesn't want to race you very hard. He wants to pass you and kind of move on and do his next thing. And instead of racing people harder, you just race people smarter and not have to deal with a lot of those hard racers that you know. And all 4 of those guys did about the same strategy. They all teamed up and they rode a gas mileage number all the way to the end and got a little help with a caution here at the end. And they're going to ride home 1, 2, 3, 4 and probably can't set up any better of a warm-up race for the warm-up race coming this Friday.
Oh, yeah. And, yeah, if this is any indication, I think we're going to be in for a fantastic week of racing so far. And it has been a great show all night. And it's been won by the drivers who played it the smartest, too, not just fought the hardest.
I will say this, though, before the checkered flag falls here, we almost forgot one other race that's going to be happening because the time slot got moved to Friday afternoon because of the iRacing Indy 500, that big SOF broadcast for Saturday. Tell them, Gary.
Yeah, it'll be 4 p.m. Eastern on Friday. So it's actually going to be like a Friday afternoon day-night doubleheader that we'll have, kind of a matinee. We'll have Friday, we'll start do IAS at Detroit, and then when that's over, we'll have a couple hours, and then we'll do the night portion of the doubleheader, which will actually be the open Indy 500 top split at 9 p.m. So don't miss it. I suspect, though, the IAS lineup might be a little parsed, so maybe we'll see some new winners, new drivers that we normally don't see. But in flying formation, we have I5G, we have IAR, we have Power Slide, and we have Team Private Label.
And Phil
Time
Kraus.
Hype, and there you go.
Yep. Phil Kraus, Private Label Team Hype, gets a great victory to start off the week at the Brickyard. IndyCar is back, my friends.
You can see between people coming for race good versus let's see what is coming now and let's have some fun and whatever. So good for this team. Yeah.
All right, let's take a look at the final standings here, and then we will get into the interview room. Phil Krause with the win. Robert Malechka second. Kevin Burrell on the third step of the podium. Jacob Oster kind of lost touch with these top four, but still manages to bring it home in the top five, finishing out yet another campaign for him on the fixed side of things. Wes Weidman, fifth. Great finish for him. Gonzalo Romero, has been a while since we've seen him on the top split. Finishes sixth. Tracy did started up front, comes home seventh. OGG eighth. Beckham Jacer, just the strategy didn't work out the way he wanted. Still brings it home 10th. Clindy comes home in 11th, or 10th, excuse me. Austin Farr, 11th. Ty Quilla, 12th. Tony Bizzarro, 13th. McGee, 14th. Pedlick, 15th. Fraporti, starting from pit road, and we really didn't hear from him after that. I wonder if he had some sort of mechanical that caused him to have to start from pit road. Started 16th, or actually started shotgun in the field, finished 16th. Dylan Moskowitz, 17th. Kowalski caught up in that last incident, 18th. Hunter Johnson at 19th, and Chase in 20th. And unfortunately, Chase got caught out kind of a la Larson and Scotty D. Moving on, Pierce 21st, Byers 22nd, Hall 23rd, Kraus 24th, and Tedeschi rounding out the remainder of the 25-car field. Ooh, that was just, in many ways, the race was kind of anticlimactic versus kind of what we saw, the action in the middle of the race.
Perhaps so, but it doesn't discount that this was a fantastic fight for everybody involved, and people playing it smart, playing it aggressive, and I think there's going to be a perfect little microcosm of what we're going to see this weekend, and a lot of splits at the Brickyard this week, and a lot of races, including the iRacing Indy 500. Doesn't matter which one it is, it's going to be a fight in all of them.
Yeah, we're definitely going to see some of the craziest racing we've ever seen in the history of the iRacing Indy 500. I've been a part of some crazy ones. Stevie, you've been a part of them with me as well. But what we're in for with the return of IndyCar racing to iRacing, it's like I said last week. To quote Chad Ochocinco, folks, get your popcorn ready. You're not going to want to miss it.
Get your popcorn. All right. And the Wes Weidman did have the purple lap of 39.982. That is worth mentioning. Let's get into the interview room. I'm sure we got a couple of people in there might want to say hi. We'll see here. And we do. There we do have the General Kevin Burrell. We will bring him up first. Kevin, got you here in the booth. Gary, Justin, LGN, and Steven. So, in the likelihood that it becomes a fuel mileage race in one of the open or fixed races, now you have an idea of what to do.
I guess so. Yeah, that was pretty funny. That should not have worked. But, we heard. I mean, I'm sure you guys heard it too, watching the race. There was immense beef going on up front, and once we realized, we can probably map 5 and gear 4 it. It was just a matter of hitting the number, and it was a challenge. I think Jacob, maybe we could have not had him carry us around for a lot early on. Might have helped him out a little, but we figured the chance of a final 4-lap caution was very, very high, and we got it. So hey, there you go.
Guys, any questions for the General?
I think my main thing is looking at, you said yourself there that strategy should not have worked. Do you think we might see someone try something similar in the 500 here? And do you think they might have a shot at it in that case?
As much as I hate to say it, yes, because we were all just kind of, memeing it together, right? But if you're really committed to working that type level of save as a team, I think it's totally possible we could run into a similar scenario. So yeah, we'll see.
So what are your plans this weekend before we let you go and do the shout outs? Are we going to see you in open at the 9 p.m. on Friday or no?
I hope. I'm not 100% sure. I mean, obviously, it depends on if I can qualify. The IAR setup sweatshop is going on in full force right now, so we'll see whether or not. Currently, I don't know if we're there, but maybe Jesper's there, but I don't know if any of the rest of us are yet. So we'll see. I'm planning on it, and if not, well, you know where I'll be in IIS, and of course, I'm going to run IIS the broadcast this week too. So
no, busy weekend. That's right. It's a lot of
Yes.
racing miles and and such varying types of racing as well. We go from bumpy street courses to a smooth super speedway. Well, congratulations, shout outs, friends, families, teammates. Of course, we know that you just newly signed or re-signed back to IAR, so I'm sure that you're going to be happy to shout them out.
Obviously, IAR for sure. They're really well, like I said, I left. I'm back. There's a reason I'm back. So, if I didn't believe in them, I wouldn't have done it. And we'll see. I mean, we'll see how it goes. I'm looking forward to it, especially with Sam Carasala on board now too, helping out on the road side. I think it's going to be really good. So, catch you guys around. It was real fun.
All right. Well, hopefully, maybe if all things go well, one way or another, we'll catch you on another interview sometime this weekend.
For sure. See you around.
See ya. All right, and you know what? He is such a great interview. He kicked himself out of the channel. He's just like, bam, I'm gone. Let's bring up RM3, our series champion. Let's bring him up into here, if I can. There we go. Hey, Robert, got you in the booth here with Gary, Justin, Lewis, and Steven. Congratulations, champion. First of all, that should be mentioned. You are the champion of the series. But beyond that, and we'll let you talk about that here a little bit later. We want to talk about how weird that strategy was. Did you expect it to play out like it did? Because we know that the racing up front was very vicious, and we noticed that a lot of the regulars are like, no, you guys go right ahead.
Yeah, the racing was pretty chaotic. I mean, I think we all kind of looked at previous results of the time slots today. Saw there was a ton of yellows, right? So we knew it was going to be pretty chaotic, and we all kind of agreed to hang out in the back. And they kept wrecking every few corners there for a while, and we just kept right around the back, kept saving fuel, kept bidding for fuel, and once we got that yellow on lap like 9 or 10, we could maybe make it, which I guess we all did really, but it was really tight there. I mean, we were when we were in the pack, we were behind, I don't know, 10th, 14th, or 13th in the line. Like, we were really all gonna make it there, but everyone obviously had the pit. So I think on lap 35, I'm calling to like, hey, what's everyone's fuel numbers? And they weren't great, but we knew they were possible as long as we kind of worked together and did I guess slow speed swap tracking, right? So we knew Phil had a slightly better number than all of us, and I was probably second best number, then Kevin, then Jacob, and kind of kept trying to take turns leading there. Saw the pack was kind of catching us a bit too fast there, so we started pushing a bit. At that point, we were only half down with like 8-second gaps. We were plenty good on fuel there to make her plenty good on really a gap there to make it. I think AJ Burton was in the call with us, and he's like calling the wrecking, and right when he said that, me and Phil both switched to map 1 instantly, and we were kind of drag racing 3 there. But,
it was kind of a Castroneves Paul Tracy moment there, side by side in the 3, and I'm like, who's leading?
It was. I mean, that was really fun. Like, I mean, when you have a good group of guys working together like that, like, we're all kind of trying to look out for one another. Shame that Jacob didn't have that much fuel, but we got a really good yellow there, so we could at least get a good P4, and we all got first through fourth, so we'll take it.
A good photo moment there at the start finish line as well. Now, do we still have more practice to do before we get to our respective 500s? I mean, I think we've now demonstrated what it's going to take to do a fuel mileage race, possibly, if you get into that situation. So you can check that off the list. What other things are you still planning for that you haven't encountered yet that you'd like to encounter before getting into one of the big 500s this weekend?
Nothing really. I mean, it's just still kind of, we're probably all searching for just a few extra thousands for you. I believe everyone's going to start kind of pushing tomorrow night into Thursday morning, when you'll see everyone start really going for it. And, I think this year, it seems like really it's anyone's shot to get a pole in, really anyone's shot to win it. It's gonna be a really good race, especially with not having static weather. We're going to have conditions changing throughout the race. You're going to have comers and goers, like they want in NASCAR. So yeah, it should be a great race on Saturday.
Before we let you go and do shout-outs, anything you want to talk about the championship? Finished with, at least when we brought you in with the points into this race, I'm not sure what you're going to finish after this race, but 2,071 points. So I believe that is the new record that you're looking to set. You'll pad on a little bit more after this race onto that total. Talk about your championship. You said everything you wanted to set. Anything hanging there that you didn't want to? You didn't get a chance to accomplish this season, or did you check all boxes there as well?
Yeah, not really. I mean, just really wanted to hit the 2,000 point mark, and not only did I, but I believe Jacob did as well, which is two of us really hit it. Is really cool to see. It kind of shows that that especially at the top of the level here, the higher SOFs, like we have some.
I got one box
really
for you.
Fast guys, and yeah, it's it's tough, but this year I went in just keep it as safe as possible. I believe I hit a new iRating record for people that only run IndyCar. I think I might have just barely beat Adriano. That is pretty cool. But
wow, I got one checkbox for you though. I got triple crown.
Really? It was Triple Crown?
We got it. We got to get the Triple Crown. You didn't get the Triple Crown, but you need to check that box because Jacob got you at Pocono, and then of course Phil got you here.
Jacob's
but
really good at Pocono, so.
he's like the Pocono whisperer. But yeah, maybe next season you get the Triple Crown. But shout outs, anybody you want to say hi to before we let you go? I know you probably want to get back to practicing and whatnot, so go right ahead.
Yeah, back to good old 14-hour days at running Indy. But yeah, thanks to Jacob, Phil, and Kevin for really just working great together. And really fun. It was actually, it's really cool to see kind of all four of the big teams work together. I mean,
yeah.
In my memory, I've never really seen that before. That's why we kind of land upside at the line. It's like we got all four teams working together, and it's really cool to see.
Well, congratulations on the podium, and congratulations on the championship. Congratulations on the new record set with iRating and points as well. And we hope to see you in a couple weeks at. Oh, geez, the champion Michigan. Gets to start off. Champion gets to start off with a home game at Michigan. So, so we'll see.
I'm biased.
Well, yeah, I know. We'll see you in the home whites here in about 2 weeks. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Thanks, guys.
See ya. And let's bring up Phil here into the booth there.
You get us moved.
Hey, Phil, before you say anything else, we got you in the booth.
Hi.
Hey, I wasn't sure what was next coming out of the mouth. I'm like, don't say anything. But congratulations on the win. I was telling the guys that you were side by side with Robert right there in 3, and it was kind of reminded me of a little bit of Paul Tracy and Castro Neves in 2002 when who was actually leading at the time of the caution, and it was you. Congratulations on a bit of a different type of approach that you guys took on this race versus other approaches I've seen you from do races in the past. Normally it's you guys go up front, stay up front, and fight it out front. Today you're like, I don't like a lot of the action I see up front. I'm going to hang out in the back and try to hit a number, and then we're going to get everyone on strategy.
Yeah, definitely. That was a different race to most, at least that I've taken part in. To be fair, in fixed, whenever I usually race, I'm usually dead. So, I think I preferred this result to trying to race at the front because I don't have a good finishing rate in these. But, yeah, we thought the field number would be a lot easier than it actually was. So, we had to really work to try and get Jacob to the end there on that last run because he was leading us most of the time and he was pretty far ahead. And that really had him struggling on the field number. Like, I was probably going to have to slow down those last few laps to get him to the end. But, yeah, really good teamwork from all of us at the end to make that fuel save work, because if we weren't working together, none of us were going to make it.
Well, same thing I asked Kevin and then Robert. What more do you need to work on between now and the big races this weekend?
I mean, right now it's hard to tell what we need to work on specifically. Obviously, Friday will be the big test to see where we stand, because that'll be the accurate weather. I mean, obviously, IS, as I said to you after that, that's a pretty good showing of what our cars can do, and I definitely think after that we still need a little bit of work, especially in the hotter temps in traffic, but I think we made good steps after that race, so we'll have to see how Friday goes, and then we'll probably work as hard as we can after that if we're struggling at all.
Shout outs, friends, families, teammates. Go right ahead.
Private Label Team Hype, as always, all of our partners, Ethica, Private Label themselves, Racing Radios, Gravity Headsets, all of them. Thanks for all of them for being on the car, supporting us, and doing what they do.
Well, we thank you for being here. Looks like that you guys had a bit of a different race. So, like I was telling the other guys, if it comes into a fuel saving situation in the one of the races coming up, I guess you can check that box. You've encountered that situation and know how to tackle it now. But we'll see how the rest of the week unfolds here. And I'm sure that you, whether it be open or fixed, is going to do real well this weekend. So, best of luck and congratulations on the night.
Yep. Cheers, Gary. See you later for IIS this week, I think.
Yes, we will do IIS. We will do IIS at 4 p.m. on Friday. So we'll kind of do a.
Yeah, we'll see.
A lot of people might not want to do that one.
After that, so.
Yeah. I don't blame you. All right, man. Have a good one.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, I don't expect see a lot of the same people doing IIS, also doing the 500 after. But fellas, any last minute thoughts here before we sign off? Let's start with you, Lewis. Go right ahead.
Well, we learned today about the IndyCar can be 35 laps on track with partner. So that's a good thing. That's a good thing to have a partner around you. Sometimes, like you see on the front road, all this unnecessary battle. To try to win the race on the first lap. Yeah. Anyways, was a good race today. Wasn't very excited entertainment for me, for everybody, for sure. And I think so. The race on this weekend is gonna be like we see with Phil Kraus, Maleska, Ulster, and everybody over there. So it's gonna be like that. It's gonna be boring to see. And then excited to the last lap for sure.
Oh jeez.
Yeah. That's my honest. Sorry to be too honest. So my man told me to be honest. So that's
okay.
my honest opinion.
That's okay. That's okay.
Yeah.
It's cool, dude.
So yeah. So it's gonna be like that, and I hope it's gonna be fun. And let's see who's gonna be the good win to the end on that race. And congrats for Maleska for the victory and the championship for sure.
All right, Justin.
I'm just gonna say this. That was crazy for much of the race there. Anticlimactic at the end. At times it could be the case for Indianapolis. Doesn't matter if it's real life or in the sim racing world. But I think what we saw today is what we're going to see for both the open and fixed Indy 500. So, this did give me a look at what it's going to be because for the Indy 500, I'm running the open set on Friday night, and then I have to spot/crew chief for a buddy of mine in the fixed set for the 500 in the 5 p.m. Eastern split. So. 2 weeks of Indy, essentially. I'm with the only reprieve being Belle Isle. I'm just ready to stay. I'm done with Indy until next year. Thankfully, we don't have to come back in August, like late August, September, as a doubleheader with the Cup guys.
Yeah.
But nonetheless, thank God. I'm like everybody else. Thank God we got IndyCar back on iRacing. Thank God we got the iRacing Indy 500 back. Can we go get the 24 Hours of Le Mans back on iRacing? Because I'd really like another crack at that. To try and go for the win.
All right. Steven, parting thoughts for you, sir.
Yeah, I mean, if the 500 this past weekend has taught me anything, and if this race has taught me anything, we are going to be in for an amazing week of competition. That's definitely for certain here, but I think what really shows, this is the weekend that's really going to show that the IndyCar community is stronger than it ever has been. We've fought through the adversity of the whole saga of the last year and a bit, and we have not given up on the fact that we love racing at the Brickyard. We love racing at love racing IndyCar equipment, and the fact that we finally get the virtual iteration of the greatest race in the world, the Indianapolis 500, back on iRacing where it should never have left. It's this is throwing like a lot of unorthodox strategies out there tonight, and it could well be something that we see going into the big show this weekend. I think this is gonna be a coming home ceremony, I guess we'll say, for the IndyCar community. This is the big time to say we're back and we're better than ever. And this race was one of the better ones to see. And what a great little birthday present from the IndyCar community at large to me, because yeah, that was quite the show. Fantastic for everybody.
And before anybody else says anything, I'm going to quote Lee Diffie on this one, but I'm going to put a little spin on it. This is, and always will be, forever, the greatest spectacle in sim racing. This is the Indianapolis 500, and it's going to be a hell of a show.
That it will be. Let's do it.
All right. So a couple of thoughts here. A little bit of business. First of all, happy birthday, Steven. Go enjoy it after this. All right, so 2 graphics on the screen. Again, reminders. iRacing, the Indy 500, Open Indy 500, will be here on Race First at 9 p.m. Eastern this Friday. 9 p.m. Eastern this Friday. We will do the top split. We'll see a lot of the names, the stars and cars of what we just saw for the race here. We'll see some of those same names, same cars in this race. And that's what we're calling the ultimate warm-up race. And then our prime time, our biggest show of the year, will be for the fixed top split Saturday, 5 p.m. Eastern. And Race First will bring you exclusive coverage of that top split. And you will see that again, 5 p.m. on Saturday. So, once again, Friday. I had to turn on my whiteboard here. Friday. There we go. Saturday, okay? And then 9 p.m., 5 p.m. There you go. That's all you need to know. But best thing to do, just go to our channel, subscribe, click on the bell, then go find these 2 races. They're already posted there, and click on the notify me, and you'll be notified of their start. You won't want to miss them. Also, we do want to thank 4D RACEWEAR for their sponsorship of the fixed series or the oval series, depending on what it was called at the time here at Race First. They've been a huge supporter of Race First. Want to thank them and Jim Herrick for their support for a number of seasons. They're going to go on and be our exclusive sponsor for the IIS coverage, but we want to thank them for everything they've done for us for fixed and oval and everything else here on Race First. Thank you very much. Well, guys, that's going to do it for this season. This season is done. That is it. So let's get on out of here and send everybody home so they could get some sleep done tonight. So that's it for tonight. Once again, your podium from Indianapolis. Phil Kraus with the win. He had just the nose enough when we went caution to beat out Robert Malechka III. Malechka, our champion of the series, with a new point and I rating record. And Kevin Burrell, the general, marches home in 3rd. Join Race First again June 11th to start the next campaign all over again for round 1 of the Tuesday night IndyCar Oval Series top split of season 3 of 24 as we head to one of the fastest racetracks in the world, Legacy Michigan International Speedway. Coverage, as always, begins around 8:15 p.m. Eastern. And again, that's 8:15 p.m. Eastern. Remember, it's a new time with the time change and everything. You should remember it now. But everything you need to do, just go to Race First, find the race there, set the reminder, and that's all you need. Everything you need is at youtube.com/racefirst. Hey, we love bringing these races to you, but they're not easy and require time and money to produce. Because of your generosity and donations, we've been able to bring you IndyCar Oval action nearly sponsor-free. If you share our passion for the sport of IndyCar and enjoy our coverage of the 4D RACEWEAR Tuesday night IndyCar Oval Series top split, please take time to visit our GoFundMe page. This is the last time you could donate for the fixed series this season. Please, if you could do it, please, it'll be a nice time that you can do that right now. Hit our GoFundMe page And whatever you can send us is greatly appreciated. We thank you for making us a part of your Tuesday evenings each and every week. Now, as you know, the YouTube algorithm game is not an easy one, so please help support RaceVerse with the weekly grind. Leave a comment below. Let us know if you thought it's a nice race. And everybody that participated in chat, thank you so much. Thank you very much for your interactions. And if you enjoyed tonight's coverage, support us by smashing like in a video. If you're new, click subscribe while you're at it. Hit the bell for weekly reminders so you don't miss out more of RaceVerse other iRacing programming. Keep your browser set here for the most in-depth IndyCar knowledge on all of iRacing. We mean it here. We know what Indy means. Race first, Tuesday night IndyCar Oval Series top split and naming rights are paid for by 4D RACEWEAR. Check out their line for made for sim racing gloves, shoes, and apparel. Visit them today at 4dracewear.com. For business inquiries to learn more about what we do here at RaceFirst, visit racefirst.com, like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, and you can follow all of us on Twitter. As I remove these two graphics, boom, boom, and I bring on this graphic, zoom. You can follow all of us via our handles right here. Track cams provided exclusively by Whiplash Track Cams. Check them out. They're on YouTube, or excuse me, they're on Facebook and on Twitter. Their links are in the description. Get more out of your iRacing experience with Whiplash Track Cams. Check them out today. So, I think that's going to do it, guys. We want to thank you very much. It's the end of a season. It's always exhaustive, but we want to thank everybody for making us a part of your nights every week here on the Top Split. It means a lot that you keep coming back. Thank you very much. We will catch you here in a couple weeks. So, for Stephen Larkamp, Justin Patchow, who else has been on the Top Split with us? Ryan Eric King, Nick Sudik, LGN, Mark Murphy. Who am I missing? Anybody else? Am I missing anybody else? I don't think so, but if I did, I'm very sorry. I'm Gary Gotzo saying all good night, thanks for watching, and to all of our men and women serving in the military. Remember, it was Memorial Day, so this is the reason for the season. Keep those people in mind, would you? Godspeed, God bless, and come home safe. Congratulations to Robert Malechka for winning the Season 2 of 2024 iRacing IndyCar Oval Series Championship. Catch us again June 11th in Michigan for the next race of the Tuesday night IndyCar Oval Series Top Split. Good night.